Today, the first thing we're looking at is histograms, and there's actually not much work to do on this first one. I just want to kind of show you this. So the chairman of a company asked his chief financial officer to track the closing price of the company's stock over 20 trading days. The stock prices in dollars are listed below. So you have all these numbers. Create a histogram, okay? If you go ahead and look down here, a histogram is just a what?
Chart.
Yeah, chart with bars on it, okay? The thing that makes it a histogram is down here, there are intervals. What do I mean by intervals? Like a number to another number, okay? So a histogram always has intervals down here, and it always has frequency on the side. Anybody know what frequency means? Yeah?
How often it comes out.
Good. So you might want to write that down. How often it occurs. Okay? The frequency is how often it occurs. Okay? So, and I'm going to come back to this, guys. But they tell you step 1, choose a title and figure out what your intervals should be. They've already done that for you. So what's the first interval? $25 to $25.49. So, and they've already listed how many numbers fall in that interval. How many numbers fall in that interval? 3. Where are they getting these 3 numbers from?
Data points.
Yeah, the data that was up at the top. Okay, so these 3 numbers are in that interval. Then if you look at the next interval, there's 1 number. And then in the next interval, there's 0, and so on, okay? Then they actually made the histogram, okay? So let me ask you this. How many numbers are 2750 to 2799? 4, okay? There's 4 that fall in that category, okay? All right, last thing. If I just give you this, what's an advantage to having a graph like that? Like, what's something that you can tell? All right, what does it mean if there's a real high bar right here?
A lot of numbers.
A lot of numbers are in that interval, okay? What's a disadvantage to me just giving you something like this? Very good. You don't know the individual points. If I only give you this and not this, then you don't have the individual points, okay? All right, flip it over to the, or look at the other side. You've got a pasta restaurant. What else do you have? A pizza restaurant, okay? What about the pasta restaurant? Symmetric, skewed left, or skewed right? Symmetric, okay, let's write that down. So that one is symmetric, pretty much the same on both sides, okay? What about the pizza restaurant? Skewed right, okay? And that answers this question. Describe the shape. We just did that. Symmetric and skewed right, okay? So those are your choices when it says describe the shape, okay? Okay, what else could you tell me if you were comparing these? What's something you could say if you were comparing them? Okay, so this is telling you the age of the wait staff, the waiters and waitresses. So what can you tell me about a pizza restaurant versus a pasta restaurant?
The pizza has younger.
Very good. The pizza has younger workers than the pasta restaurant. Okay? Good. All right, let's go to the next page. All right, what is the name of this? Dot plot, histogram, or box and whiskers? It's a dot plot because it has what on it? Dots, okay? It's got dots. Identify the data set that's represented by this, okay? So if you notice, how many ones are there? 1 dot, okay, and all the answer choices have 1 dot. How many 2's should there be? There should be 2 2's. What answer choices can I mark out? A and B. Okay, how many 3's should there be? 3, they all have that. How many 4's should there be? 4. So what's the answer? D. Okay. Hard or easy? Okay. Number 2, the dot plot shows the number of passengers in Mara's van during different trips. What is the median age for the number of passengers? What's the key word? Median. Median is the number in the middle. Okay, median is the number in the middle. How do I do that? Cross out. Good. So you start on the left and cross out 1, and then you cross out 1 on the right. So y'all do that now. You're crossing out 1 on the left, 1 on the right. And they're really small, I'm sorry. But luckily you don't have to do the whole thing. You end up with only what left? 1. Okay, you only end up with 1's left. So the answer is 1. Okay, the answer is 1. Questions? Okay, make a histogram of the following data. Use the following intervals, okay? So it's gonna be like this. You gotta have a chart or a graph, okay? Where are the intervals gonna go? On the bottom. So I'm already telling you 66 to 70, 71 to 75, 76 to 80, 81 to 85, 86 to 90, 91 to 95, and 96 to 100. So you're just writing those down at the bottom. What always goes on the sides? Very good. Frequency. Okay. Okay, how many numbers are in 66 to 70? 4? Y'all agree on that? Okay, I'm just going to put a little number 4 right there for now, and I'll tell you why in a minute. How many numbers are 71 to 75? 71 to 75? 4? What about 76 to 80? 81 to 85? 4 again? Are they really? 86 to 90? They're all 4? Okay. All right, so the reason I just wrote them is I wanted to see how high to go over here. So how high do I go? 4. Okay, so all of these are 4. Oh, well, that was pretty boring. Sorry. Questions? Okay. All right, if you're not done with this, you can always finish it later. Let's go on to the next example. Based on the histogram below, how many students are at least 64 inches tall? Circle that, please. At least 64. At least means greater than. So you either have to be 64 or taller, right? 64 or more, okay? At least means 64 or more, okay? If I look right here, this one right here, this column, this 2, are these people 64 and more? No. What about the next one? No. What about the next one? Yes. Okay, sorry, so I didn't tell you this earlier and I should have. If you have 2 numbers right here, like if it's in both intervals, the person who is 64 always goes in that one. It's just a rule, okay? So there is nobody here who is 64, okay? So what about here? Are they at least 64? And then here? All of these, right? What do we need to do? Add them up. So 5, 4, 4, 2, and 1. So at least means they can be 64. No, sorry. What I was saying, I didn't explain it very well, is whoever made this, they followed the math rule, which the math rule is, if you had listed all 25 students, if there was somebody who was 64 inches tall, the person who made this has already put them here, okay? Sorry about that. What is it, guys?
16.
Thank you. All right, the histogram below shows the ages of the members of a club. Which of these correctly describes the data shown in the histogram? What are some things you notice in the answer choices? Okay, I heard somebody say skewed left and skewed right. Uniformly and symmetric. Uniformly, we haven't talked about that word. That's the one we just did. This one. This one right here, where they were all 4. That one's called uniform. Okay? And they get that from when you play a sport and you put on a uniform, what do you all look like? You all look the same when you put the uniform on. You're all wearing the same thing. Okay? Okay, so I'm not even really gonna read things. I see skewed right, skewed left, uniform, or symmetric. So just based on that, what do you notice? Skewed left. So it has to be B, okay? All right, number 6, the weights in pounds of the 2-year-old male patients at a pediatrician's office are shown below. Which of the following correctly displays the data in a histogram? Okay? If you look at the bottom, 25 to 30, but we're actually only doing 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. We're not gonna actually put the person who weighs 30 in here, okay? So these are the people who weigh 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. So how many, if you look up here, how many people weigh 25, 26, 27, 28, or 29? 4, okay? And does this bar go up to 4? So looking good so far. Okay, this bar means people who are 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. You would stop at 34. So how many are in that bar? 4. Again, still so far so good, because if you come over, this is at 4, okay? What about 35 to 40? You would stop right before you got to 40. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Does this one go to 7? Yep. And then this one, you would stop before you got to 45. 1, 2, 3, 4. Does that one work? And then the last one is 1. So what's the answer? A. Okay. Questions? Are we already on the last page? Yes. Sweet. All right, number 7, find the what? Median. All right, circle, underline, highlight, please. All right. Median is the one in the middle. Okay. How many things are in this bar? So I'm just going to put 1 star for people who need a visual. How many things are in this bar? So I'm going to put 2 stars for people who need a visual. There's 4 stars in this bar. What about this one? 2 and then 1. Okay, so that's how many things are in the bars. To find the median, what do? You cross them out. Okay, so this one crosses with this one, that. What are you left with? And so, sorry, I should have said find the median interval. So that was my fault. I should have said find the median interval. So the answer is just 22 to 23. Okay. Oh, no. For this one, based on the rule I just told you, what would be the answer? 22. Okay. Because you wouldn't include the 23 in this column. Okay, number 8, find the median interval for each histogram below and describe the distributions. Okay, all right, this one I know is hard to see and it's a little trickier. Let me see if I can make it lighter. Okay. How many things are in this one? 10. There's 10 things in that one. What about over here on this side? How many are there? 5. Okay. So this gets a little trickier. How many are in this one? 10 and 10. Okay. Okay, so let me see if I can explain this. This one's tricky, okay? If I cross out both of those, how many things have I crossed out? I've crossed out 20 things. If I cross out both of them, I crossed off 20 things. What about if I cross off these two? I've only crossed off 15. How many more would I need to cross off to balance it? 5. So I'm just going to cross off half of it, okay? I'm just going to cross off half of it, okay? All right. Now, if I cross off the rest of it, that's crossing out 5. How many would I need to cross out over here? 5. So if I cross this out, if I cross this all the way out, I need to cross out 5 over here. Okay? And then it doesn't get, now it's pretty easy because which one has more left in it? 30. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, y'all are right. So this one has 30 in it, and this one now only has 20. So if you crossed out all of these, how many would be left over here? 10. So this one is the final, that one's the last man standing. Okay? This one is, oh. Yes. Yep. They will not, they'll either have that as the answer or they'll have 150 to 199. They will not have both. You won't have to choose between those. They won't be that, this is already a hard problem here. They're not going to make the answer choices hard on this one, okay? Because it's already tricky figuring out here, okay? All right, let's practice that one more time on Heath bar cells. So how many are in here? 20. If I cross out all 20 of these, how many do I have to cross out on this side? 20. So this crosses out 10, and I would need to cross out 10 more to balance it. So I've crossed out 20 on one side and 10 and 10, which is 20. Okay. All right, what about if I cross off 10 more? Then I'd have to cross out 10 over here. And again, it's pretty easy to see here. Where's it going to be left at again? 150 to 200. Okay. Questions? All right. There is a high probability that this question is going to be on the no calculator. So that's how we're going to practice it. Okay. There's a high probability that this question is going to be on the no calculator part. Okay. Abby scored 87, 93, 96, 89 on her first 4 quizzes. What score does she need on her 5th quiz to have an average of exactly 91? Okay. What's important? Average of 91. Okay. She wants to get this average after she's taken how many quizzes? 5, because she's taken 4. But she has 1 more to take, and she wants this to be her average. This is what it's going to equal. She wants that to be her grade. She wants to get a 91, and 5 goes on the bottom because there's 5 quizzes. Her teacher is going to divide her grade by 5, okay? What's her teacher going to do with these? Add them up. 87 plus 93 plus 96 plus 89. Plus there's what? An X. Why am I putting an X there? We don't know what she's making on her 5th one. Okay, we don't know what she's making on her 5th one. Okay. Again, I'm sorry, but they're gonna put it on the note calculator, so we need to practice that way. Okay. So we'll come over here to the side of my paper. 87 and 93 gives me 180. Now I'm gonna add 96. 276, and then I'm going to add 89. Did y'all get 365?
Yeah.
Okay. So when you add all those, you get 365. Bring down the plus x. Divide by 5 equals 91. So all I did was just go ahead and add those 4 together. Okay. Anybody remember what you do next? Multiply by 5. Very good. We did this one in the very first week of school. That's been a long time ago. So to get rid of divide by 5, you multiply by 5. So again, no calculator. You have to do it on the side of your paper. 91 times 5. 1 times 5 is 5. 9 times 5 is 45. Oops. Yeah, that's right. Right? Okay. So here's what I have. I have 365 plus x equals 455. Okay? What do you do last? 0. What is this, 9? So she has to make a